Welcome to lesson 1 of the Foundation Reset Intro module. Before we attempt to correct behavior or build discipline, we must first understand how emotional reactions develop. Many people try to change actions without understanding the internal process driving those actions. But first, before we go any further, I want to show you where this lesson is located within the course. As you can see, lesson 1, understanding emotional regulation. Remember, I told you in the previous video that there are hyperlinks. So you click on the lesson, and then it will give you the lesson description and the lesson activity, and then you can click on everything thereafter until you get to the quiz and until you completely complete this lesson. And then it will prompt you to go to the next lesson. But for now, we're going to go to the workbook. The workbook that I talked about in the previous video is the place where you will find lesson 1, worksheet 1. Remember, you have to read lesson worksheet, the lesson worksheet intro. That's for all the worksheets before you start working on your worksheet. Now, these worksheets are very detrimental because it's going to teach you the tools that you need to help you integrate and identify these different things that you have going on when it comes to your behavior and patterns, okay? Within this lesson, you will discover that emotional regulation is the ability to observe an emotional response without immediate reacting to it. Most reactive behaviors occurs because the emotional system responds faster than conscious awareness. This is where you're going to start using and really understanding that your patterns shows an effect of something that's maybe going on within. So most of the time we're not aware of this. So when a situation triggers discomfort or frustration or stress, the brain often shifts into automatic response patterns. These patterns may include defensiveness, avoidance, impulsive decisions, and emotional withdrawals. These reactions are not just random. They are patterns that have been repeated enough time that they are now occurring automatically. The purpose of the emotional regulation is not to suppress emotions. The goal is to create space between stimulus and response, meaning when a space exists, we gain the ability to choose our response rather than reacting automatically. This process is called the pause response model. And as you can see, the second worksheet that you have to fill out is the pause response model that allows you to interrupt reactive patterns in real time. And as you can see, that's one of the questions. What signals does your body give before reacting emotionally? This worksheet helps you identify the very things you need to identify when it comes to your reactive patterns. And there's also another worksheet that's called the emotional triggers identification worksheet that's gonna allow you to reflect on your recent moments where emotional reactive occurs, using the questions below to examine the triggers and your response and your outcome. Now, with these worksheets, patience is going to be required. You're going to be required to give yourself the patience that you need during this unfolding of who you really are, and have the patience that you need. I want you to also pause as you go through each question to allow yourself to let the answer come out authentically and truthfully, giving you the chance to not answer impulsively or through your ego, but allowing it to come fully from your heart, so you can fully receive what you need to receive from this, okay? Remember, these worksheets can make a big impact. It may seem small, but it can impact your trajectory, your entire trajectory of your behavior, because you are now aware of the patterns and your behavior. So don't look at this as being lightly, taking it as lightly because you're writing it down. And it's okay to be seen, you know? Now that I've shown you the workbook and the two exercises, the two worksheets that are included in the workbook that you're going to be using, I want you to think about everything in a way where you are showing up authentically and willing to do the work effectively, okay? And don't be so hard on yourself. So now that I've given you the summary of what lesson 1 is offering, in the next lesson, we will examine internal alignment and how behavior inconsistency develops when our actions do not match our intentions. I'll see you there.